This is my speech called Surviving My Relationship. Pet peeves. I know that everyone who has ever been in a relationship knows that there are just some things that make you question how much you're willing to overlook about the other person's habits. Sometimes it just makes you want to pull your hair out, and it gets on every single nerve. We all have these things called pet peeves. My name is Katie Rivas, and I'm 18 years old. I am currently a first year student at Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, and I am majoring in general studies. I have an amazing boyfriend named Junior, who I have been dating for almost 2 years. I love him to death, but there are just some things that he does that makes me want to strangle him. Things like biting his nails, procrastinating, and having bad decision making skills. Even though he jumps from one nerve to another, I still love him. When I first started talking to Junior, one thing I noticed was how often he'd bite his nails. I personally don't bite my nails. However, I know other people who do. I never really found it hygienic, and I just touch everything with my hands. I discussed with him how I felt about it and tried to figure out why he did it. Once we found out what the main stressor was, we worked on limiting it. I would start off by holding his hand and gently reminding him to stop when he would start biting his nails. I've tried different methods throughout our time together, and he's gotten much better, but I still catch him occasionally. Now that I'm more comfortable with him, I usually slap his arm. He knows I can't stand it, and sometimes I think he does it despite me. He even acts like he doesn't do it and that he's all innocent. Then I see he's bleeding from where he bit something off, and I try to put some hand sanitizer on it, that way it can burn the fact that he shouldn't do it to his head. Time management is something I'm still learning. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I've always been the type of student who to procrastinate on assignments that I just didn't necessarily find interesting or if it stressed me out a lot. But Junior just doesn't see the point to do things until it's right in front of him. When we make plans, I tell my parents almost immediately. That way I can get their permission and I could just give them a heads up. Junior likes to wait to ask his dad that morning or as he's asking for a ride over to my house. Sometimes I feel like he procrastinates on the wrong things. Like when he took his driving test, he tried making the appointment the morning he wanted to take it. But if we decide on eating somewhere, leave it to him to look up the menu, even if we aren't eating for another 2 hours. I know it's just how he functions, but boy, does it take some years out of my life. This summer, I took a trip to Iowa with my dad, little brother, and Junior. As the oldest daughter, I've learned that my mom usually tended to tend to the boys growing up. So the trip quickly became stressful when I realized I was going to need to guard them and take care of them. One specific moment was when we stopped by a Dairy Queen. They were having a rush because a bus full of nursing home residents stopped to get blizzards. We waited patiently, and I remember asking my dad and brother what they wanted, expecting Junior to be able to take care of himself. I told the cashier our order, turning to Junior to add his food. The second we make eye contact, he goes, "I'm not sure. What do you think I should get?" It was the worst time possible for him to be asking me the question, knowing I was ready to pay. It was one of the many moments Junior has done that. He's always asking me my opinion on things and what I think he should get when we go out to eat. I'm someone who figures out what they're going to get before walking up to the register, while Junior is someone who needs me to make a definitive decision for him out of the options he gives himself. I cherish him asking my opinion, but I don't always feel like, or I don't always want to feel like I'm the decision maker. I tend to have to give him time to decide what he wants. Just like everyone, I have a few pet peeves that make my relationship a bit of a roller coaster, but I still love and care for Junior even when he makes my blood pressure rise. From his nail biting, procrastination, and inability to make decisions, he makes my world spin, and I do anything for him, even overlook his irritating habits. My best advice to any fellow significant other with pet peeves would be to count to 3 and take deep breaths. It's gonna be okay.